These matters have been tested in court. The National Industrial Court has indeed taken a position through a valid court order in July 2013 that cadres of consultancy that have been approved by government should stay. So if anything is going to change that status quo, then it takes a superior court to make pronouncements on that. I am aware that medical and dental consultants of Nigeria are already challenging that. So why not leave it to due process? If you have concerns.
They're challenging.
Oh yes, they're already challenging it. So you cannot begin to blackmail government again, that it becomes a conditionality to return to work. And that's why I get offended. You can't do that. Look, I tell people, I am a free-born citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You cannot deny me my dues as a citizen of this land, because I will fight you with all God's given talent. Lawfully, I will fight you. I will resist it. Resistance to tyranny is sometimes obedience to God. In fact, it's not sometimes, it's all the time obedience to God. That's sanctified common sense. So, we are not doing anything. I'm not interested in trading places. I choose to be a pharmacist, and I am a very proud pharmacist. If I have to do it all over, I will come as one.
It's very interesting, though, that, you know, if you listen to the report, they did not mention pharmacists.
They did not need to. They did not need to. The cadres that have approvals now are pharmacists through the National Council of Establishment that I talked about. And then, of course, some of the teaching hospital boards have already designated physiotherapists and some of the cadres as honorary consultants in the various federal teaching hospitals, especially.
They're all members of JOHESU?
Oh, yes. So all of those umbrella unions have affiliation with JOHESU. You know, traditionally, and I'm saying this with a sense of responsibility, pharmacists seldomly go on. I don't know whether you've ever heard of it. We don't encourage it. I don't believe in negotiating privileges and structures for better emoluments through strike action. But you begin to see more and more that it is only people who hold government to ransom that government listens to. And that's where I worry. Look, you go and do a critical evaluation. Do doctors really go on strike in this country? What happens a lot of the time is that you say you're going on strike, and then you divert clients and patients from a guaranteed public sector facility to your private facilities.
Have you seen that happen?
Don't let us trivialize it. You know these things happen. If you want to go and conduct a serious investigation,
some of them.
No, and
they flatly denied it.
That's not true now. You go and conduct a serious investigation through undercover agents and see what goes on in these places. They divert these guys to private facilities and you make money. You make money on them. And then you blackmail government. When you come back from strike, you still get paid. So I'm saying that government actually gives a red incentive to these guys to go on strike perennially. The Lagos State government is a lot more pragmatic. Today in Lagos State, you find out what goes on with the employment of doctors. A lot of doctors who were employed in recent times by the Lagos State government were actually employed on locum basis. And so the implication of that is you get paid for services rendered. And I think government at the federal level needs to take a cue from that so that we can knock sense into some skulls.
At the end of the day, you said this matter has gone to court.
It's gone to court. So there is a court ruling of the National Industrial Court on the skipping of corners.
Which JOHESU?
Oh yes, we JOHESU
have got.
And JOHESU got that.
We haven't asked you though. How did you come about that?
How did I come about that?
About the skipping. I mean, why was it eventually approved? Is that also some bias to you as well, to JOHESU?
Not exactly. There must be sound basis to approve it. Sound basis as in, just like you said, do you know, there are studies to show, for instance, that 99.1% of patients who visit health facilities or doctors eventually pass through the pharmacy. Because at least in this country, a lot of what we do borders on curative, on the curative approach. So there's no client. So if you think a doctor is busy, a pharmacist is in fact busier in the OPD clinics, in the inpatient facilities. Okay. So They probably approved that. I'm not a civil servant, and I was not part and parcel of agitating for that. But what I can tell you, what I can confirm to you, is that this thing was challenged by doctors at the industrial court, and they lost it there.
Well, what Nigerians are looking for at the end of the day is an end to the bad blood. The stance that you have taken right now seems like, you know, it's going to be fight to the finish if you challenge this. What exactly do you think is the way forward?
Winston Churchill says, those who want peace must be prepared for war. I have learned as a Nigerian, and as a Nigerian pharmacist, that privileges will not accrue to me a la carte. So I have gotten news in all the climes where people respect pharmacy as a profession. People fought for those things. So we're going to fight like citizens of this land. But I want to pass a message to the leadership of NMA. Professions exist to serve the society. You're aware of that. A medical doctor, and that's I'm quoting from the World Medical Association Book of Ethics. A medical doctor has a contract with society by nature of his profession. That contract presupposes that the interest of the patient must take precedence at all times. At all times. Now, what the NMA is degenerating to, look, I have a lot of respect for that profession because it's a noble profession and nobody can take it away from it. It's a very noble profession. But the incumbent leadership of the NMA is on the path of reducing that noble profession to a mere trade association that agitates only on the basis of the ego of its members. And what that means is that there is obvious compromise in moral and ethical values. Now, for as long as they choose to go on that path, you will leave other people with no choice than to contend with you, albeit very, very constructively and seriously. And I think that's what we're trying to do. Like I said, I am not interested in a popularity contest. I chose to be a pharmacist. In spirit and in truth, my output will speak for me as a pharmacist. And I am satisfied with that. If these people want to come back to do things the way it should be done, so that we can together, collaboratively promote a true team concept, I tell you, we are available as pharmacists.
All right, Olumide Akintayo, it's the President, Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Welcome.
We've got another perspective coming up in just a moment. Do join us again.